Our speakers today are two very interesting and neat people. One of them I have known for a long time. He's my son, Bruce Phillips, who practices law with me in Nashville. He has the privilege and responsibility that not only was his biological father a raving alcoholic, so was I. So he's seen it from both sides. He has got a paper which is located at tab 2.1 in your handout on the CD-ROM, which has the papers. The other is an extremely illustrious individual that we, as the Forum Committee, are extremely lucky and fortunate to have. Walter Yetnikoff, who, while he is a trained lawyer, does not practice and has not practiced in a long time. He is a Phi Beta Kappa graduate of Brooklyn College, got his law degree from Columbia University. Later went on to do things that us other entertainment lawyers only dream of. He ran the most successful recording company in the history of our business, CBS. He has done all sorts of things, have been involved in all sorts of very, very important artists' careers, all the way from the Beatles to Michael Jackson and on and on. He has a book which we would recommend to you highly. We were going to hand it out at the program, but weren't able to get copies for crazy reasons. But it's called Howling at the Moon, published in 2004 by Random House. It is also available on, I understand, at Amazon.com in paperback, although we were too dumb to find it there. It says something about us. But anyway, I recommend this book to you. It's not only interesting, it's educational, and I think it will be well worth your time. Another book that we recommend to you is by Gary Stromberg, which is just out in paperback. It's called The Harder They Fall, which is about celebrities and their real-life stories of addiction and recovery. It's published by the Hazelton Foundation, which, is many of you probably know, is a world-leading treatment facility. I believe it's in Minnesota, isn't it, Walter?
It's based right about 50 miles south of Minneapolis.
He also has, that we'll recommend to you, a new book coming out, talking to other celebrities, in which there's also an interview with Walter Yetnikoff included in there. So it's called The Harder They Fall, Gary Stromberg and Jane Merrill. What we hope to do is to leave some time for you to ask questions so that we can address particular issues you have. And without any further ado, I'm going to let Bruce give us lay a little background in it, and then we'll turn it over to Walter, who will give us his story and his thoughts.
Morning. Always good to be in New York. I don't know if y'all remember that old movie, The Out-of-Towners, that old comedy. I think I was about 5 years old. I think I'm going to write a sequel. So if any of you all want to pitch that for me. It took me about 15 hours to get here from Nashville yesterday. So just picture me in a charcoal suit with a gold tie, because it's somewhere down an islip right now. And no big deal. It's the only day of the year I would have worn it anyway. So this is, to me, a pretty interesting subject, because I don't think it would have ever occurred to any of us to even discuss this if we weren't here today for an hour of ethics. I think probably you're all more interested in hearing Walter Yetnikoff than you are in hearing me, so I'll keep this pretty short in setting it up. But the more I think about it, the more interesting the subject is, because, you know, back in law school, I remember taking domestic relations and being told that if we're faced with a party getting a divorce, we're supposed to try to rehabilitate that, be certain that there's no way to rehabilitate that marriage before we proceed with getting two people divorced. Well, you know, that sort of struck me as that the lawyers really have any business getting in the middle of a dispute like that. You know, our job is to get them divorced. But I think that, you know, that arises, that duty to our clients arises out of our broad duty to act as advisors to our clients. And, you know, I cite the model rules here, just a few in this short paper, and this isn't the type of subject that is, we can pick apart the model rules or the rules of professional conduct and apply one here and say, well, here we have a nice answer. It's not really rule intensive. It's more, I think, intensive